Myself, Usha Joshi. I
Yes.
am TGT. So skills means the मतलब हम कहेंगे कि जो हमारे अंदर किसी भी काम को करने का जो कौशल है, जैसे किस तरह हम पढ़ाते हैं या बच्चों के साथ इंटरेक्ट होते हैं, तो ये स्किल्स के अंदर काउंट होगा। जैसे बच्चों की भी स्किल्स होती है, तो हम किस स्किल में बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपर्ट हैं, आई थिंक सो।
Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone else would like to? I am getting some answers
It's
in the chat box.
it's an ability to handle every skills, like it is ability to handle all the situations that
Won-
can be your emotional or a balancing of yourself towards academics and overall growth of a person and a child especially. So that particular ability is called as a skill.
Wonderful, wonderful, really wonderful. So now I am just starting with sharing of my screen. Just give me a moment and then we'll be like, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Just a second and let me minimize this. Yes, is my full screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now it's a request because I won't be able to see you people. So it's a request. If you have any question, like meanwhile, when I'll stop, at that time you all can ask me the questions, right? And what you can do is you can put your questions in the chat box and then we can discuss in one go, right? So today's session is all about essential skills and essential curriculum. Now, this is 21st century, like where we are actually trying to teach children that it's not only the degrees which are important, but something which adds on to your degrees is what makes you a complete person, right? So, I request each one of you to please put yourself on mute. Participants, I would really be grateful if you all can put yourself on mute. Otherwise, the entire session would be disturbed. Yes. So I am an educator into field of education for past 21 years. I'm a psychologist and I'm working with Allen House Public School as a senior coordinator. I'm an LP CVT practitioner. I'm POSH and POXO enabler. I'm a resource person for CBSE. I have written a book which is dedicated on teachers. And other than that, I strongly feel like there should be, not few, but many more things to be done for the teachers as, teachers are the core of everything, right? So this session will be focused on understanding of what are soft skills, why do we need a structured curriculum, what all are the key components of this curriculum, and then because when we are talking about soft skills, obviously we are talking about skills which go more in alignment with our senior section, that is grade 9 to 12, though according to CBSE skills can start from grade 6 onwards, but the level, right, let's say if I'm teaching a student of grade 6 and if I'm teaching that child soft skill, obviously that curriculum has to be very, very different from what I'm going to plan for a student who's in grade 12. So in today's session, I'll be giving you overview of how can we devise the curriculum, what activities can we add, how can we assess, and as an educator, what is our role, right? Am I clear till here? Any doubt till here? Please respond.
It's
Any
a clear.
doubt? Okay.
It's clear. It's clear.
Okay. If you all can see my screen, there are 4 sentences written on my screen, right? The first sentence is, you notice a student is struggling with a topic, but is too shy to ask for help. How do you handle it? Normally, as a teacher, how do you handle it?
And go to the child,
Okay,
develop a small conversation, start talking with the child,
wonderful.
and in that, get the child attention towards what I'm asking, and ask the child to what the problem child is facing. This
Great.
I do in my class with some students who are really need it. That's who are slow learners. They find very difficult. That time I do this procedure. I do like this only, ma'am.
Great. So what exactly do you do when you are asking, when you are going and talking to that child? What exactly are you doing?
I'll just contact. How are you? What happened today? How was you? Are you okay? Yes,
So
ma'am.
what
So
is this
are you
procedure
able to
called as?
understand?
What is this procedure called
Uh,
as?
I think
this
interaction with the child, that we will
approach
Great.
connect to the
Interaction. We have one more name for the word interaction. What is that right now? What are
ap-
we doing?
approaching.
uh,
Communicating?
Communicating. Sorry.
Yes.
yeah.
We are communicating.
Yes.
Wonderful. Right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
in the first scenario, what are we trying? As teachers, as mentors, we just try to shift our focus, from kind of putting ideas in child's mind. Rather, we tell the child, okay, you come up. We build that communication, right? The second is, during a group activity, two students start disagreeing over the project ideas. What do you do? As a teacher, what would be your call? I would want to hear lovely answers from my lovely participants. What would you do if, yes?
Try to listen both the ideas,
Okay,
and we try to give what exactly the project, what you are discussing. Just find out what exactly is needed, and that come to an understanding. So this can be a better way of option for the naming that particular activity.
what is actually, what main thing are we dealing with in this scenario?
We are making child to think critically, or otherwise thinking skills we are enhancing in the child by
Yes,
discussion between the two children.
yes, Miss Raksha Singh, please go ahead.
Uh, the one thing that
Sorry,
Anushka Singh, ma'am, may you kindly mute yourself, Anushka Singh.
I really request all of you to mute yourself and unmute only when you want to speak.
Anushka Singh. Yeah, Meenu ma'am, the one thing that we are focusing on here is communication. I think we are communicating with the children.
Communicating and are we not getting into conflict and trying to find out what is the reason behind it?
Yes, we are finding the reason out
We
as
are
to why
working
they're
on conflict resolving, right?
conflict resolution. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
The third scenario is, you have a new student with language barriers. How do you make them feel included? I really request all the participants to mute yourself, please, because if I'll mute from here, then I won't be able to unmute because I'll not be able to see that. I request to unmute only when you want to speak. Can you please pay attention to this request? Yes, who's going to answer this third scenario? You have a new student with language barriers. How do you make them feel included? What exactly are we doing in this?
We will listen first the student, whichever language he wants to speak. अगर वो
Great.
we will give them chance. We will give them chance to speak in his language.
Hmm.
Then we will tell him. Suppose हम English में पढ़ा रहे हैं,
हाँ
लेकिन
जी,
बच्चे को इंग्लिश बोलने बहुत अच्छी नहीं आती है,
हाँ
तो
जी।
वो हो सकता है हिंदी में बता दे, तो हम उसको हर्ट नहीं करेंगे, पहले उसको सुनेंगे।
वंडरफुल, वंडरफुल। सो बेसिकली हम इंक्लूजन ला रहे हैं अपनी क्लास में, राइट? जो सीबीएसई का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, विच इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ सीबीएसई. The last situation says a student's family situation is affecting their behavior in class. How do you show support? In how many multiple ways can we show support?
One thing by
मैम
discussing
Raksha Singh?
with the child
Sorry.
Ma'am,
and
first,
taking
yeah,
the
first
confidence
I
of the
would meet
child
the
issue,
parents
Okay.
and get to know
meet the
what's
parents.
happening inside the family.
Oh, one person at a time. I would really appreciate.
Anushka Singh has to be muted, ma'am. There's a lot of disturbance from Anushka
I
Singh.
really
We are
think
unable to follow.
मम्मी की याद आ रही है.
Anushka Singh, yeah.
Anushka Singh, yes.
यस मैम, रिमूव, वेरी डिस्टर्बेंस।
No, I don't want to actually remove, but it's like I request, it's a final request. Please, ma'am, Anushka ma'am, please mute yourself. I really would appreciate that. See, the entire webinar is getting disturbed just because of that noise, the background noise, and I'm not able to, focus on what I'm trying to convey. I request, it's a humble request to unmute only when you want to speak. It would really be appreciated. Yes. So,
मैम वन मोर नेम, गीतांजलि ग्रोवर, इनको भी रिक्वेस्ट कर दीजिए प्लीज, गीतांजलि।
Miss Gitanjali Grover, if you're able to hear me, it's a request, ma'am. Please mute yourself because that disturbs the complete class. Please, it's going to affect your learning also. I really
Ma'am,
not time.
ma'am,
Yes.
sorry, ma'am. Actually, I'm sitting alone and there was no noise coming from the back. Otherwise, I have muting.
Okay, ma'am. That's really appreciated. That's really appreciated. Thank you for the cooperation, ma'am. Yes. So may I get the answer for the last one? One person said confidence. Then what else are we trying to do? Like a student's family situation is
Can
affecting their behavior. What are actually we trying to get into?
we are actually
मैम
trying to get the child into our confidence and try to help the child and motivate the child and make the child to focus on other skills. Suppose it happened recently in my thing, very disturbed family, and the
Okay.
child was very much disturbed. So she is very good in art. I said, whenever this disturbance happens, try to go and do your art so that it will not affect your mind and your studies won't get affected.
Wonderful.
And the child has done. Now child is working in a very good organization in a higher top executive level. I
Hmm.
really feel whenever I recollect the child, I feel really very much proud that my small 5 minutes talk with the child has changed his entire life.
You are saying it is
Thank you, ma'am.
5 minutes effort, ma'am. Knowingly, unknowingly, you
Yes,
help the child analyze
yes,
the SWOT. I mean, you actually
yes,
introduce
ma'am.
the child to his or her strength, which
Yes, ma'am.
as a mentor, we all need to do, right? So these four
Yes, ma'am.
scenarios make it very clear that now is the time when we have a duty more than being a teacher. We are the mentors. And in order to become a mentor, we are not there only to go and deliver the lecture on the topic which we have prepared, but also to get into deeper understanding of emotional, social, and behavioral needs of that child. So this curriculum which we are going to discuss today is going to give a big help. According to me, it's really a big help which will help you people explore how can you include all these points which we discussed in your day-to-day classroom teaching. Now let's understand what is soft skill. Like, hard skills are all about degrees, the things which we earn in terms of this qualification and this and that, but and it conveys like how much do I carry, wherein soft skill tell what as a person I am. They are our personal attributes. Now, there's a big debate which goes on, which says, no, soft skill cannot be, it cannot be learned and they are inbuilt and this and that. Yes, to an extent. Like, for example, we were discussing about conflict resolution. We talked about, like, ma'am unknowingly helped the child. Ma'am pulled the child towards, art. She told the child that, why don't you be engaging with art whenever you find depression all around? Knowingly, unknowingly, she told the child, she helped the child to find his or her sword. So these attributes are actually present in all of us. But to what extent do we display them? How do we sharpen them? Is all the soft skill curriculum which helps us as a teacher. Now, the more we know ourselves better, the better we know the other people. This is a fact. Why? Because we have heard of the term sympathy, we have heard of the term empathy. And empathy is not only about, okay, I understand your situation, or I know you actually are feeling, okay, had I been in that position, how would have I felt? You live those moments. So for living those moments, you have to, be completely into that situation. Only then you'll be able to understand what the other person is going through. I know there are so many, around about 100 participants in the webinar at present, and many of you must be at leadership position, right? And many a times it so happens that being leaders, or we are misunderstood. And then there comes the problem. How should I make the person understand? Ki, listen, my intention is not to make you feel, that you are not that learned, or there's a learning gap, or this or that. My only intention is to make you a better person. And how do we do that? We do that when we have a great, communication skill. And that communication skill can come only when we communicate more with ourselves. This is something which I strongly believe in. These all are actually, soft skills are the habits which not only can be cultivated, built, but also strengthened over time. The more we practice, the better we become. And as in the initial, this initial discussion of this understanding soft skill, I said, these skills help us in self-awareness. Like, so how many of you do SWOT analysis? Is there anyone in the session who practices SWOT analysis for self? May I get some answers?
Not exactly, but to some extent. Not exactly, it is not followed. To some extent, how I'm going through, I'm able to reach exactly to everybody. I'm able to give my time limit. So these are actually the terminology I'm not using, but the content I'm trying to get that.
Great, great. So that means you are, to an extent, you practice SWOT, right? What is SWOT? Can anyone tell me the full form of SWOT? Is there anyone in the group who would want to address what do we mean by the term SWOT?
Strength, weakness,
opportunities, threat.
weakness, opportunities, and threat.
Wonderful, wonderful. Like, I have prepared many things for all of you. Once the session is over, I have created a WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing the number and the link of that group so that all the resources which I've curated, I can share it with all of you. Now, because with strength comes the opportunity, and with weakness comes the threat, right? So based on this, there is another kind of relationship built, which also I'll be sharing with all of you, right? So now moving ahead next, soft skills types and relevance. Now, there are basically two categories into which we can keep soft skills: self-monitoring skills and people-pleasing skills. Now, many of you would be thinking, why do we need to please people? Many of us, like we say, okay, you should be pleasing yourself first. Now, when I'm saying people pleasing, I'm not saying to go and, listen to all what the other person has to say, but just note down the terms written under it. Active listening. Like, what does active listening help us in? Active listening is one of the most important key elements in resolving conflicts. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Like, let's say a person, like, let's say you're a team leader and one of your teachers is upset because you said something like, okay, this work has to be finished. Like, you gave the teacher the deadline. And the way you said it was like the teacher took it as, oh my God, why is she or he trying to be so much authoritative in nature? I don't like this. Now, the teacher has just addressed or has just given full concentration on the tone. The teacher, the person, he or she did not understand the key, the depth of why are you telling the person to finish that work on time. Now that person is upset, sitting and pondering, oh my God, my leader is so bossy in nature and this and that. Now, as a result, what will happen? Obviously, there will be a conflict. If not open, a close conflict will be there, which obviously is going to affect relationship of you and the person working with you as a team member. Now, if both of you sit together and address this. Now, when I say active listening, I'm just trying to tell, like, you being the senior, you can say, I can see you. You are upset since the day I have told you that please finish this work on the given deadline. I can see you that you are upset. What is that which is troubling you? Probably the person would not speak in one go that it was the way you spoke or this or that. And there is a greater possibility that at that moment, when you told the person to finish that work on deadline, may be just facing or maybe just going through some personal problems, that there may be inbuilt anger, there may be inbuilt, insufficient wala jo feeling aata, I'm not sufficient, I'm not enough wala feeling. And because of that whole narrative has changed. The way you spoke, the way the other person took the thing. Now, have had both the people involved in active listening, this problem would have not arisen only. So that is what I mean when I say people pleasing skills, means ensuring that you as a team leader create a happy and a healthy environment, not only for yourself but for everyone present around you. And when you start listening, when you start listening actively, slowly you will realize that from a teacher, from a leader, you start becoming their mentor. And once you become mentor, conflict resolving becomes like a child's play for you, because most of the time conflict comes just because we do not listen to that silence. Silence speaks a lot. And what is that silence? That silence may be a buildup of many things. Probably that person is doing a lot which is going unignored. Probably that person has a great financial problem at his or her place, which he or she is not able to discuss with anyone. Probably that person has some limitations because of which he or she is not able to do the things the way he or she wants to do. So once you become a mentor, instead of sweeping the conflicts under the rug, you have the courage to sit and confront and talk. Let's talk on this. Let's discuss. Let's come to a conclusion. And isn't this is this not bringing you on collaborative approach? Please answer if all is clear till here. Are we not moving ahead to a collaborative approach?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely.
Absolutely clear.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Yes. So
Absolutely,
now,
ma'am.
when I'm talking about when I am very, when I'm listening to others actively, when I've become their mentor, when I'm able to resolve their conflicts, when I'm able to reach the collaborative approach, obviously it will start reflecting in my self-monitoring skills. I will have more of a positive attitude because now I will not see any situation as a problem. Rather, I will see that thing as a situation. Oh, let me see what learning outcome has this thing brought to my table. And this will act as a self motivation for me, for myself. And obviously, the more motivated I am, the more persistent I am. And obviously, my time management skills will be, will be kind of, बिल्कुल on spot कि I know I cannot manage to waste time just because not one or two, there are many people dependent on me. So see how beautifully, though I have categorized them into self-monitoring and people-pleasing, but can we see a beautiful relationship, like it is kind of what goes around comes around? How many of you agree to this? How many of you agree
That
to
is true, ma'am. 100% true, ma'am.
100%. Like, okay, there's a small announcement. The meeting will get over in 9 minutes. So as soon as the meeting gets over, I'll reconnect with the same link. So all of you can reconnect, right? So let's move ahead. Now, from classroom to workplace, bridging the gap. Now you'll be thinking like, why do we need a curriculum? Okay, we know that there are multiple soft skills. We know conflict resolving, positive attitude, communication skills, interpersonal skills, intrapersonal skills, and so many others are there. Then why do we need to take this to the classroom? Because we are preparing the children to face the world. I mean, not the world, but let's say we are preparing the children to face the global platform. That is why from classroom to workplace, how confident they are, how future prepared they are they able to solve the problems? Like, do they look as a problem? Oh my God, do they get nervous? Do they get anxious when they see the problems coming to them? Or they have a cool head and then they just sit with their team and they discuss. So the reason behind that we need a curriculum is all what the slide speaks about. Like, it turns marks into meanings. There's no use of only carrying the degrees. We know it's like CBSE has made mandate, the Saksh app, and there are so many skill hubs. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana is there, Saksh is there, then so many others are there. Even the CBSE has, collaborated with IBM and so many other platforms. Why is the CBSE taking so much of the pain? So that our children can, move to the real world success. They should not only be running after, oh my God, I have got 99 out of 100. That means, I am ready for a very bright and a very brilliant future. No, that doesn't promise that. If you do not know what to be brought on whose table and when, marks makes no difference. And that is why we need a structured curriculum so that we can build better communication, collaborate, and can generate critical thinking among our children. Now, there are textbooks, and obviously there is learning beyond the textbook. We all are 21st century teachers. We all are well aware of experiential learning, hands-on learning, and whatnot. Different pedagogical terms are used for, describing different things. So on one hand, if textbooks are preparing the children for analyzing their, marks and degrees and all, soft skills are preparing them for the world. How do you face the world? How are you going to, we have seen that there are stellar people. There are people who are a cut above the rest. So if as teachers, we include this in our curriculum, obviously we are going to give a great help to our children. Now, because we are talking about future young minds, we are talking about active learners, we are talking about career options. We are now, bygone are the days, though, yes, the world is still crazy. The children are still crazy. I want to become an engineer or I want to become a doctor. Then here comes our role as a teacher, as a mentor. We need to widen the horizon of our dear children that listen. world and career and success is more than these two terms. Let's explore it together. This is what is the advantage of the structured curriculum, of which a little framework I have prepared for all of you. I hope till here I'm very clear. If anyone has a doubt or a question, can stop me and ask me. Am I clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
It is clear, ma'am.
Now, let's align this. Thank you. Let's align the skills with developmental needs and academic load. Now, see, as a teacher, we cannot ignore the fact that we have academic load also. And sometimes it so happens that we have to rush with our syllabus because there are multiple activities going on, assemblies and annual days and this and that. And on top of that, we have academic load also. But on one hand, there are developmental needs also. Now, as we cannot measure everything with the same scale, similarly, we cannot assess, we cannot judge the developmental needs of all the age groups with one parameter. So in these slides, I have just tried to, narrow down the developmental needs of the students who are, let's say, in grade 11. Now, grade 11 is that where the child has just come out of the board class and is really curious to, explore which subject should I be taking, which stream should I be taking, what is that one thing which can bring me a great future, a great career. So here, along with their academic load, we can introduce them to their communication and presentation skill. Now, my dear team, when I'm saying presentation skill, I'm not only talking about how you look physically, but how you present your ideas is also what matters. And at this age, children are full of ideas, no doubt in that. But at times, there is so much that they spill everything around. They don't know how to put them in different compartments and serve it serve it to cater the needs of the others. So in this age phase or in this grade, our focus has to be on building more of communication and presentation skill. And this can begin only when they are aware of their own emotions. I have specially added, I think someone is left unmuted. Please mute yourself. Now, emotional intelligence is very, very important. I request a person to please mute. Can anyone see who's unmute? Because I'm unable to see the screen. Ma'am, I request you to please mute. Ma'am, I request you to mute, please. Now, we are talking about emotional intelligence, right?
सही बात पता ली है अपने यहाँ नेवला है
Who's unmuted?
हमें तो पता है
Two of them are continuously talking, ma'am.
Ma'am, if you can see them, kindly take your name and tell them, because otherwise I'll have to stop my screen sharing.
संगीता दीक्षित
बोला बच्चों के बाद बार-बार आ रहा था
संगीता दीक्षित
वरना ये लड़की यहाँ बैठे थे
संगीता दीक्षित
संगीता दीक्षित मैम, संगीता दीक्षित
आपने भी लिखा है
मैंने तेरे वाले
संगीता दीक्षित
मैम who else is there?
Another one is, yeah, all are muted now.
Yes, that's better. Right. So I'll start because this meeting is about to end in just a few seconds. So any doubt till here? Any doubt till here? Whatever we have discussed?
Clear.
Yeah?
Thank
All
you.
clear?
Clear it is.
Okay. So just give me, I'm ending the meeting and I'm restarting the meeting so that we go uninterrupted. Okay. So please click on the same link and join.